Well, David, thank you again for being here for, I guess it's the sixth episode of The Big Break. It's moving by so quickly. Um, Curious, if you could just walk us through the timing of how this whole playback went. You guys had the day off. Petey walked over the hill, and then is that when the competition started against you and Petey? Or all of you against Petey?
It was, yeah, all of us against Petey there, eh? And actually, Carl and I talked after the last episode. We thought they were going to try to squeeze it in to show actually that he did come back, because that was all in one day. And then, it was the beginning of another day when I went against Kent and Will went against Petey and all that. But we kind of just, we sat around all day and did a couple things at the Renaissance Esmeralda, and like they showed there last week, played Wii, and we weren't really in the mental mindset to go hit some golf shots. So I think it threw us for a little bit of a loop, but I mean, you got to be ready for that stuff on the big break.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we've seen that many times. Well, Carl was first up, and he didn't make it, and Petey started off on a roll. It happened so quickly for us watching it. How long did that competition actually take between all of you and Petey?
Not very long, to be honest with you. It was more setting it up. Him walking over the hill, and then Stephanie and Tom talking to us. It really wasn't that long, because we squeezed that in right before dark. Maybe 40 minutes.
Oh.
It really wasn't that long.
What was the evening like for you guys then when he came back so quickly? And then, we know there was some tension before. So what was the evening like? Did you guys hang out? What did you do?
Well, we just kind of did the same thing. So like I said before, me personally, it didn't really, obviously you want the fewer people on the show with you still in it, is obviously better for your chances. But it really didn't seem to bother me that he was back. He's a good player. It's unfortunate that he's such a good player for us. But there's nothing you can do. And we all got along well before. So I don't think. For me personally, I didn't treat him any differently or whatnot. I don't think a lot of the guys did. I know that it was definitely, the longer you're with the group of guys, you just kind of develop more of a bond. And when you throw sort of an outsider in it, like Petey ended up being, because he wasn't around for those couple days, I think that's where some of the tension came from, because we all kind of knew each other a little bit better than Petey, but it was all fine. I think TV made it look like we all hated the guy, but I don't think that was really the case.
Okay. Well, what room did he stay in? Did he have a roommate when he came back, or did he just stay in a room by himself at that?
You know what? I honestly can't remember that. Somebody asked me that last night, actually, when I was watching the show, and if he had a roommate, he went back with him, and if he didn't, then I think he was just by himself. I was trying to remember last night, and I think it's the one thing I can't remember on the show.
Well, it's okay. That's all right. Maybe Carl or Robbie will remember later. Okay, let's talk about.
Probably will.
Yeah, let's talk about the first immunity challenge you had against Kent. We watched you putt with a hybrid. Putting seemed to be a big thing on this week's show with all the broomsticks out there, and then Oren putting from yards away. But you picked up a hybrid and did that putt, and it didn't really get very close to the hole. Is that a common shot for you to hit a hybrid putt?
Yeah. I said it kind of quietly on the show. I started hitting that shot quite a long time ago. For me, I just didn't. It's such an easy chip.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I didn't feel comfortable over it. So I that hybrid. I unfortunately hit it pretty awful.
Mm-hmm.
But generally speaking, I'm usually quite okay with it. And like I said, I've made more off the green with a hybrid than a wedge or whatnot. So that was the decision to go for it, to do that. And luckily I ended up making the putt, so it didn't end up looking as bad as it was.
Well, yeah, you did a beautiful putt after that, so that was impressive. And then the second, it was pretty hard to beat Kent's 1.5 foot location. So you were long. Did you pull it a bit? Is that what happened?
No, you know what? I just it was I thought they were going to show it actually on the show, but we were all talking about how much of an advantage it is to watch. Like for Oren and Carl, it was such an advantage to watch. Like, you know, because even at our first location, you get to see the balls come off and how they roll and whatnot. And TV doesn't really do it justice, but it was a significant downhill lie, and the green was running away from you. And you had to get it. You know, the green rises up there a little bit, so you had to get it over the hill. And I wanted to bump it into the hill, and I flew it about 4 or 5 feet too far, and once it lands, it hit the collar right there on the green there, and it just kind of scooted. And then, you know, now even last night you can see all the guys, you know, it was firm enough where you could have hit it into that bank and it would have skipped up, you know, and that's exactly what Kent did. And I was the first one to kind of hit that shot from that location, and it wasn't as bad as it was. I mean, it wasn't a good shot by any stretch of the imagination, but it wasn't as poor of a shot as it ended up being.
Well, you know, you came back, though, in the immunity challenge against Oren in 3 locations. You looked like you had it in the bag. And then you hit that shot, I don't know, 150 yards. And I don't know if it hit the pin, but it came darn close to it. So that was quite a surprise. That put a little bit of extra pressure on you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to remember, and I think that might have been a little bit of an editing thing. I think actually I hit first in that final location, and I think Oren hit second, because I think you have to finish up a location or whatnot, and he kind of stuffed it in there to kind of send the message, you know, that if he's going to go down, he's going to go down swinging, sort of thing, and that's what he told me when we were walking back. But yeah, it's so funny, you know, like looking back on it, you know, I had a significant lead, but 11 feet isn't really that much, you know. It's like 2 of me, and I'm not that big. So, like, it's just, you know, everybody, when you watch TV, everybody's like, oh, it's 11 feet, no problem, or whatnot. But even if you have to put it in 20 feet, like, one thing I did learn from the show is that, you know, when 6 feet really isn't that long of a putt, you know, or you know, to hit it to that location. And to put it inside, I think, you know, whatever it was, maybe 11 or 14 or 17 or whatever I had to do, it wasn't like it was, you know, exceptionally easy. I ended up hitting quite a good shot in there, but I think it gets lost, like, because it's just a TV show and you're going to, you know, get caught up in it. You don't think of things logically, and I mean, for me, that was a big swing. I made a really good swing. I hit 3 good shots in a row, which was exciting. But yeah, I know that. I mean, Oren hit it in close, but even if I had to hit it within 35 feet, you know, how easy is it to, you know, hit a 9-iron and just miss it a little bit and hit it to 40 feet? So it was definitely a confidence boost for me, for me to actually hit a couple good shots when it mattered.
No, absolutely. No, it was great. It was great. And so, you know, Oren heads into elimination. You watched him and John. Give us an impression of what you thought we were watching it. Were there any surprises in the way they were playing or anything like that you want to share about that whole elimination challenge?
No, I think John did a really good job of, you know, hitting the ball in the middle of the green and 2-putting. And that's kind of all he needed to do, you know. He took the full, you know, he bought the half a stroke and took the full stroke in the elimination challenge, which is tough. Because even if Oren was to, you know, to beat him by a shot, they'd still go back and play it again. So, and that's where that whole, it's really tough to come back. You know, it's not like 18 holes of golf and you get a stroke lead. It's, you know, not that much golf. So, I think Oren did the right, you know, that first shot when he hit it like long and right. I mean, you have to take that aim. You have to grab it. You know, if you're playing for par and hoping the other guy's going to make a bogey, it's just kind of pointless. So, no, I think they played. You know, it's definitely nerve-wracking. You know, until you're in an elimination challenge. You know, John's a really, really good player, and you know, I remember talking to him. He was like, man, those elimination challenges, there's nothing like it. You know, they're just, the nerves are so strong.
Yeah. Well, you know, and Oren really didn't play badly. He didn't look like, you know, a shoe-in for elimination at all. He had a couple of bad breaks there, and but he walked away a real class act, and you know, it was kind of sad to see him go because he seemed like a really gentle soul.
Yeah, I was hoping they would have showed a little bit. He kind of talked into the camera, the one, as he was by his cart, and then, thanked the golf channel for his experience and whatnot. And some of the things he said, like, we were all, like, pretty touched by it. He just went out the right way, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he was, he's a classy guy, and I know when some people watch, like, they always ask me, what did you make of that Oren guy and whatnot? He was such a great guy, and especially the way he went out, just saying, you good job, good luck. He all came up to us today, good luck the rest of the way, and you guys are all very well deserving of it, and pretty class act. And with me, kind of being a younger guy, the younger guy in the show, he set a good, precedent or role model, I guess, for me, because, you don't want to go out, looking like an idiot, and, our respect grew for Oren more even after he kind of left.
That's terrific. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, he left that impression, I think, with the TV audience as well. Well, David, this has been great. Is there anything you want to close with today? Anything I didn't ask you wanted to mention before we wrap it up?
No, I know next week's show, it's going to be a show, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You always leave a teaser at the end like that. Thanks, David. We'll look forward to talking to you next week about it. Take care, okay?
All right, great. Thank you. You too. Thank you.